Hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let's get into this one. Hey, there he is. Yeah, the Darkness Top has come a bit of a... Actually been on the show more than I have, to be fair. It's been live. It's been on the live streams a bit more than myself. Just a floating top. Just, you know, lying there. Or floating there, you know. Anyway, don't know what I was getting at there. Hello. Welcome. Good to see you all. If anyone's in. Yeah, I've had to sort of schedule things around sort of the week and Easter and keep things all doable. Because, like I said on the last live stream, it's pretty hard sometimes with certain products, certain add-ons. Obviously, I can't always go live when a product is announced if I can get my hands on it, if it's sent to me. Sometimes it's hard, and I always try. If something is sent to me, especially, I try and if it's something that I want to live stream, obviously I'll try and get it out as quickly as possible and show you guys. So there's that. For now, we're going to have a look at a new Drzewiecki Design airport. I would say around the same size as the freeway one that he did. I can't remember. That was a Radom. Around the same size as that. But really, really nice. This is Szczecin. Is that how you say it? I think it's pronounced as a Z. Szczecin Airport. Kind of in the north. I think it's in the north, near the coast of Poland, up towards the top. This is why we're starting off at Rhone. I think it's Rhone or Ron. It's RONNE in the Kodiak 100 because, well, you know, I don't show aircraft enough, and I've explained why I don't show aircraft off a lot. Generally, I will show aircraft off if I'm able to fly it correctly, or at least, you know, somewhat be able to give you guys a bit of a talk about it and tell you whether it's decent and flies well. So yeah, we're gonna have a little bit of a fly to Szczecin over in Poland from this little island. This is a handcrafted airport, so I thought it'd be quite cool to do that. Sim Market is in the chat, guys. Thank you so much for coming in, because it is thanks to you guys that I'm able to show the Kodiak 100 and the new Drzewiecki Designs airport off. So thank you so much, Alec. Who's Alec? Alec, you've turned into a Russian. A Russian now. Alex, hello. Good to see you, my friend. Thank you for coming in and obviously being a good friend and a moderator to the channel. But yeah, guys, as I say, if you are rewatching this, please do obviously leave a like, and please even share, and do everything. Comment still, you know what I mean? Even if you're not watching live, because we've got a fair few live streams coming up. We've got more community flying. We're over in Montana after Easter on the 8th of April. We're going to do some flying around Glacier National Park. It looks absolutely stunning. I had a little bit of a fly around there to get the thumbnail for the live stream, and it's gorgeous. It really is nice. So hopefully you guys can come in and do some more flying with me on that one. What else do we have? I've got a number of live streams that I can't schedule and make public yet, so I will announce those this Saturday, to kind of put it in between the Friday and the Sunday. We are going to have a look at Burning Blue Designs Kemble, or should I say Cotswold Airport. Can't wait to show you guys that. Got a giveaway for that one going on. There's some other giveaways, there's other bits coming, but I've got to obviously make sure I'm able to say whether I'm okay to say that and all that. So anyway, let's get on with it. Let's get on with it. Here we go, guys. Right now, I've been having a little practice in the Kodiak 100 within this lovely livery. This is like the Series 2 liveries, but straight off the bat, before we get into the aircraft and flying, there is a ton of variants for this one. You've got like 5 external versions, 5 cabin configurations. Yeah, I am reading off the product page, of course I am. It is linked in the description. Again, massive thank you to SimMarket for the opportunity for this, because I think I did have this for 2020, but I didn't do much flying with it, admittedly. This is great fun. I did a bit of a fly yesterday. I've had, in total, I've had 1 flight with it. This will be the second. I've sat inside it and had a fiddle with it. Yeah, the other day when I got it. But this would be sort of the second proper go to get over to Szczecin. Who else have we got in? Alec, yeah. Mr. Anderson, hello, Practically Geek, thanks for the live stream. Excited about new Kodiak. How's it comparing to the 2022? I couldn't tell you, mate. As I say, I'm pretty sure I did have it for 2020 as soon as it came out, but I didn't use it much, admittedly, and I don't know why, because it's a silly reason. I don't know why. But yeah. We're going to take a flight over. This shouldn't take us too long. Please bear with me. The reason why we are doing a full flight with this one and taking it over is because obviously I did want to take a look at the Kodiak, but also as well, the airport itself obviously isn't huge, so it's not going to take us too long to have a little look around there. I say little look, you know me, I like to have a good look around it. This one, again, I haven't had a look at it inside the terminal. I've had a little quick look at the control tower and the terminal. It's another fantastic looking scenery, by the way, just spoiler alert, but we haven't had a look inside much of it yet, so I want to see just how detailed Drzewiecki has done on this one, which I can say without any sort of worry that he's done another fantastic job. The Kodiak for 2024, it's got all the new bells and whistles. Obviously, you can put the covers and the chocks, and you can mess about with the ailerons and all that business. So it's got all of the lovely new 2024 business going on. You can also have a little look into the very, very detailed engine as well. Lovely. I mean, look at all the insulation here as well. Look at that. Very, very detailed. If you want to stick your head in there and have a little look around. The doors, again, animations. I always actually think the animations have got so much better with the simulator nowadays. Love to see the fact that we don't get transported right into the aircraft as well. I do love to see that, because too many aircraft transport you right into the aircraft, which is a bit of a pain in the ass, because sometimes you just want to have the door open and not be transported in, and it doesn't actually give you an option to keep the door open as well. Yeah, it's very detailed. Look at this. I mean, I'm gonna just stick the drone camera on because I want to see this sticker. It's insane. Absolutely. These aircraft are getting just far too detailed, aren't they? And yeah, it can become pretty intimidating in some respects when they get this detailed. I mean, the sticker in here, you're never going to see it, are you, until you actually stick the drone camera in. Look at that. Oh my god, look at you. All around me are familiar faces. Yeah, fantastic detail. Really, really good. Let's have a little look. There's also this. Now, I haven't got a Scooby-Doo what this is. Is it an external voltmeter? You can stick this in. Look at that. There you go. Instructions for use. Consult the operating handbook. Zap pack, power on. I'm assuming it's a it's an emergency power unit, but you can read everything. The detail is fantastic. It really is. Big wheels again. You can put. I don't know if these are the Tundra. I don't think they are, but you can put the Tundra wheels on. You can put the cargo pod underneath. We haven't today. You've got the amphibious version. I think there's a ski version as well. It's very detailed. That's all you've got to know. And also as well, from what I've seen flying it, you've got to be very, very particular on everything. There you go. It looks absolutely it's you know, it looks the part. It sounds fantastic as well. Avis and Kev, good to see you. Evening, good to see you, mate. That's the kind of aircraft that I just want to fire up to see. Exactly. And this is what I say, Sim Market, is this is my aircraft. This is kind of, in terms of the size of aircrafts, general aviation, this kind of size going in up to a Caravan, maybe some of the smaller biz jets as well, are really my type of flying. Compared to 2020, first of all, you get all the model interior variants at once in a single pack. There you go, guys. Again, I'm pretty sure I had one of SimWorks Studios aircraft for 2020. I just can't remember what the bloody hell it was, to be very, very honest. But yeah, animations very, very smooth. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to try and do the door. Try and do the door. That's the bit of the issue here, because I can get in. I think I'm just playing with the ailerons at the back of the aircraft there, to be honest. I did this the other day. I did manage to shut it the other day. Let's get in. We have got Tobii eye tracker installed as well. There we go. Perfect stuff. Cabin. I think all the aircon units actually swivel. There we go. Lighting and everything. Lovely interior. Armrests go down. Carpet looks immaculate. It looks so good. Like the texturing and the modeling as well. Really, really nice. All G1000 NXI units in this one. I must admit though, my Tobii eye tracker's a bit off today. I would say, you know, if you're looking for gauges and instruments and, you know, tapping on glass, it ain't gonna be here, guys, because it is all screens. But she's lovely. She really is. Got me honeycomb stuff all set up, and hopefully what I can do for you guys is just show you how this starts up and how well it flies, and hopefully have a nice landing into Szczecin, which, by the way, I haven't even set up just a little bit of a guide for myself. Let's have a little look. This one is Arc N. Did I get right? All right. EKRN. There we go. Runway 11. And then Szczecin is Echo Papa Sierra Charlie. I am sorry that the camera is turning, guys. And what runway do we want for this one? See, we're not too far. I actually don't want the 3-1. I want the other one. I want that one. Runway 13. Perfect. We're not gonna do. We're gonna hand fly it. We're not gonna do any nav or blah blah blah. We're just gonna get up and just so I've got a bit of a guide. The 2024 version is also supporting pre-flight and walk-around mode. Yeah, like I said, obviously we've got, you can, you know, manipulate the covers, and you can go into the engine covers and stick the emergency power unit into there, doors open and stuff like that. But what I would say, a good point to be brought up by Sim Market as well, again, big massive thank you to those guys, is that the checklists, I feel that there's some things missing. It could be user error, but I'm pretty sure, I'm not going to click on it now, but I'm pretty sure the parts of the checklists are missing, especially the, yeah, there's just some things here that it doesn't actually, and this looks like an actual error if we have a little look at that. Some of that looks wrong, and then some of this, it doesn't actually tell you the next steps. But again, that could actually just be me, to be very, very honest. It could be me. But I'm going to hopefully explain how you don't blow the engine on this. I have had a little look at what other people are doing, and hopefully I can show you guys how not to bugger up the engine. So we're going to do that. I bought the 2020 version. I believe there's a 50% to the update, although I've not seen anything about that on SimWorks. 50% to the update, as in 50% of the price, or sort of they've added about 50% more, Kev, because I'm interested in that one. Just to let you guys know, on my Bravo throttle, I've actually got a mixture of the GA levers on here and then the airline throttles. The reason I've got that is to manipulate the reverse thrust, because recently I've been flying a lot of airliners. It's completely the wrong way as well. It's not supposed to be that way. But anyway, get set this started. Battery, alternator. I don't think that's avionics. Or it is, or rather, it is. Perfect. Right. So, from what I can remember on this, half price of the new one, I could have been wrong. No, you could be very, very right, to be honest with you, mate. Right, guys, so from what I remember, what we're going to do is, there's not much to do. What we'll do is get the beacon on, because we are going to start our engines. And what we do is, we're going to stick the fuel pump to, not to standby, but to on, ignition on, and then we're going to start her up. Now, obviously, we've not got much power at the minute. Which is fine. The next step is we're going to put it to, in this little quadrant here, into the high idle, low idle. I think this is what you do. I might have got this wrong. In fact, I think I have got it wrong. I'm not too sure how I've got it wrong, because I've only just been, oh, it's this. I forgot to do that. I knew I'd forget something. Right, no, guys, leave it. I've forgot a load here. I've forgotten a load. I apologize. I've got myself flustered. I've done that 3 times now, and then I just completely ballsed it up. I apologize. Sorry. I've just completely buggered that up. Again, let me start it again, because I'm getting a few things wrong here. I need to remember to do a few things. For example, actually have some fuel turned on, because we didn't do that. And I knew that's what me problem was. Again, my Tobii eye tracker just doesn't seem to be like, that's fine there if I just angle the camera down. Right, okay. Let's make sure they're not. Yeah, let's make sure they're not on. Again, I could be getting this wrong again, because I'm pretty sure there's something else we've got to do. There we go, we can hear it kicking up now. Oh, why is the parking brake not on? That's another thing, the parking brake not set. That was my fault, because I didn't check the parking brake. They look like they're normalizing, so what we can do now, I believe, is to turn the wine and fuel pump off. And then I believe you can turn the starter off as well. I don't want to fiddle with that, just in case. That's sim marking, find the discount, should be straightforward. Perfect. But yeah, I believe that is what we've got to do now. Someone said 120 flaps for takeoff for the Kodiak. I don't think we're going to need that, to be very, very honest. Nav, get taxi. Perfect. Woo! Nice, 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 nice. Oh, we have actually got some traffic on the just like traffic as well. Perfect. Apologies for that, guys. I believe you can turn the starter off as well, but I'm not going to, just for the sake of it, because I don't want to bugger things up any more than I have done already. But yeah, guys, we're going to have a little look around Drzewiecki Design's Szczecin. Obviously, we don't need to use much power with this aircraft to taxi. A little bit of a wobble there. That lovely ATR as well there, look at that. DAT. So I have had a little look, as I say, of the new Drzewiecki Designs airport, and it's lovely again. Lovely, absolutely gorgeous modelling and texture work again. But I haven't had a look at it all. That's obviously why we're going to do the live stream today and show you guys. The links for the Kodiak 100 and Drzewiecki's Szczecin is linked in the stream description. Again, another big massive thanks you to SimMarket for making the stream happen today. Admittedly, another sort of not fast, but I haven't been able to schedule it long. I think I only did it yesterday, so everyone who's coming in today, I appreciate you coming in and spending the time. What I did want to do, guys, is because I did it before, I just want to flick it to live weather. Pito off. Gonna stick it to live weather because it's not too bad at the minute, and stick it to June just for the light, just for the light. But yeah, as I say, please do leave a like. I hope you guys can hear the sounds as well, because I'm not too sure. It sounds like you can. Sounds like it's coming through on there. I'll put the piezo heat on just because it wants me to. Lovely little touch screen here as well, guys, for the temperature for the pilot and the passengers, which is a pretty cool touch as well. We're not going to get very up high because we're pretty much going to be over the sea, and then we're going to be not too inland for a long time, so. Pretty fast. Obviously, we don't have to worry about a landing gear with this one. Also, it has a tendency to go left as well, I think. Just going to go back on the power a bit as well. Raise the flaps. Nope. Just want to bring it up a bit more. We actually didn't have a lot of the RPM up as well, which is pretty cool. It just shows you how powerful it is as well. Now, hopefully I can give you a nice landing into Szczecin. Doesn't look like the this part of the world has any seafront simulations coverage. Can't see any planes. Ships, sorry. Perfect. I can take my hands off for a second and speak to you guys. I'm going to turn Toby off for a minute. Or apparently. There we go. What am I getting beeping for? Is it because I've still got the thingy on it? What am I getting the beeping for? Is it because I've got the starter on? Sorry, guys. Is it me vaults? Oh, well, that's not annoying, is it? Oh. It's beeping at me and I don't know why. It could be me vaults, but I don't know. Yeah, it's me vaults. And I don't know why. And I don't know how to stop the beeping. I don't know how to stop the beeping. I'm pretty sure I turned my generators on, yeah. No, I didn't. Ah! Oh, see, I did it before and I didn't do it on the second go. Oh. Thank you, Jason. I do have proof that I did that then. So on the first go, I got it wrong because I didn't put the fuel selectors on, and then the second time I didn't put the generators on, which I did do originally on the first one, but I did the order wrong, because if you do this at the Kodiak's cold and dark the wrong way round or the wrong order, the engine just goes. But yeah, thank you, Jason, for that one. I don't know how I forgot those two. I think it was because I wanted to make sure that I was getting the other order. So basically, you try and turn this down. So basically, your order is to set all the buses and the battery on, and then you start by obviously do all your other bits first, and then start by popping the auxiliary fuel pump on, ignition and starter. And then once everything's stable on the ITT and obviously the engine's stable, you then introduce some fuel, and then the RPM goes up. But you only introduce it up to idle, low idle, this little notch here, and then slowly introduce the RPM. Once that is done, obviously that's when you should start doing the generator and the alternator, which I didn't do the second time round. That was something I forgot. It's funny because, as I say, I've done one cold and dark start one time, and then I did a flight yesterday around Szczecin, our destination, and then this is my third only time in the Kodiak, and yeah. Got it wrong. I got it wrong once, and then didn't do the thing I should have done originally on the second time when we did actually start the engine correctly. So yeah. Anyway, that's why you guys are here sometimes, to make me look like a fool. Not make me look like a fool, but I make myself look like a fool. You guys help me sometimes. But yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you so much, Jason, because otherwise that would have been beeping all the way through. And I didn't have that yesterday when I did the little flight around Szczecin. None of that was happening. I did I think 2 circuits. Landing was quite nice as well. I mean it. And then, yeah. We also did see a boat before as well. There we go. Pretty cool to see when you've got the global shipping turned on or installed or whatever. There we go. I think there's another one out there somewhere as well, maybe. No, it's all the little marks on the windscreen. Lovely little details as well. So, Szczecin. Echo Papa Sierra Charlie. It's available on SimMarket now. You can get it from the link below. Starting with the dollars, US dollars, it's going to cost you about $20. Pounds, this comes in at £15. And then CNY, I'm not sure what is that. Yen, I think it's yen, isn't it? 142. And as per Drzewiecki Designs, it's very, very detailed. He's very, I would say, kind of, you know, for Microsoft Flight Simulator. I don't know if he did any kind of P3D or anything else before Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. I'm not too sure on that. But what I do know is that over the years, he's given us incredible sceneries. We've had a bunch of American sceneries, and he's pretty much done what Burn and Blue Designs have done in some respects with the airports around Poland. He's done a lot of the Polish airports as well, and this one's no exception. Bit more on the smaller side. Like I said, this is kind of on the scale in terms of size. The Random, the freeware that he released not too long ago, but it is again filled with all the details. I don't know if we can actually walk around this airport with the avatar mode. That is something that I love to do nowadays as well, especially with Aerosoft Stuttgart. You guys know how much I love that airport. It is fantastic. So we'll have a little look at that. I haven't tried to do that yet. It's got a detailed layout of the airport with apron taxiways, infrastructure, and compatible with AI traffic and ATC. New passenger terminal 2027. Yeah, 2027. Based on architectural plans and official visualizations. That is quite interesting. I didn't know that. What we're getting with this, and this is not something new Drzewiecki's done, because he actually, and I haven't actually had a look at the Sydney one, but there was the new Sydney airport, wasn't he? And he did that as well, and it wasn't even open. So that's very, very interesting. In fact, you know what? I'm going to have a little look at Google Maps while we're in hopefully a steady flight. And I'm just going to have a little look at the airport and see, because most of the time they do blur stuff out. Now this airport does have I don't know if it has current military movements, but it has a lot of military bunkers, this airport, and they are, again, they're modeled really, really well, very detailed for military. Right, yeah, so if you have a look on Google Maps, guys, it's still the old terminal, which I'll be honest with you, looks really nice. Very very stylish looking airport, I must admit. Let's have a little look and see if we can get the little the little gummy, little yellow gummy man. Yeah, so if you have a look on Google Maps, the old airport is still there, which obviously makes sense because, like it says in the description, the 2027 terminal is included in the scenery, which is pretty cool. That he's obviously taken the plans, the blueprints of the new terminal and popped it in there. Admittedly, I do prefer the old looking airport. That's just opinion, but I do like the old looking airport. Let's have a little look. I can get this up for you guys. I'll get it up obviously nearer the time as well, but let's have a little look on Google Maps if I can get it up. There we go. So this is the old airport, or at least the one that is either currently here or currently in rubble at the minute. I'm not too sure how the airport is operating, whether it's closing, but it doesn't look like they can do much in the way of transfer passengers, not like the way Manchester's currently doing it, where they're obviously moving people over to Terminal 2 and doing stuff out of Terminal 3 while Terminal 1's being sorted out. This is just one building, and you can see up here, look at this. Look at the old looking terminal. There we go. Very old, sort of, actually, not, it doesn't look like Belfast, but that it reminds me of the kind of construction, not the theming, but do you know what I mean? It's definitely not what we're getting with the new airport, and you guys will see it. He has included all the surroundings again as well, which it looks great. Very interesting. That is something that I did not know that he'd done, was to actually include the new terminal. High quality model of terminals, tower hangars and airport facilities. Realistic ground layout with marking, signage and service textures. Custom runway and taxiway and approach lighting with PAPI systems. custom vehicles, static aircraft clutter, and selected interiors, and optimize lodge for performance. What would be pretty cool is to see, like, there's a couple of guys doing older World War II airfields, and you know, sometimes you'll get the odd freeware that does some older airports, how they look back then. I'd love to see an old Speak airport in Liverpool, the old terminal and everything. That would be really cool. But you could just, like, I'm not saying he should have, because it's extra workload, but it would have been cool if Drzewiecki had put the old terminal in, and you could obviously select that or the new terminal. That would have been pretty cool. But obviously I understand why he's done that, because he's thinking ahead. He's put in a new terminal model, so basically he doesn't have to come back to this, because it outdates, it outdates his product straight away, doesn't it? He's thought ahead. Well, he's thought till next year and thinking, if people buy this, the new airport, the new terminal is going to be there soon. I don't particularly want to go back and start adding new interiors in. For himself, obviously, smaller teams. I think he might just be on his own, to be very, very honest. But it's not like any builds who are going back to do the newer terminal in Hong Kong and putting the whole interior in, and then obviously offering it as a free update. Completely different. So it is understandable, but I would have loved to have, like, the option of having that old terminal there, and then you can flick a switch and the new one's there. Cheshire Flight, hi Brian. Richie here. Nice to see you, mate. Thank you for coming in. As I say, guys, we're in the Kodiak 100. I'm still waiting to hear about Liverpool Airport, which is a pain in the ass. Any build Liverpool Airport, there's a lot of us waiting for that. But yeah, we're in the Kodiak. Sorry, I just keep on, every time I get like a little email, I'm like right there. We're in the Kodiak 100. This is the 2024 version. Recently released SimWorks Studios. Blow the cobwebs away there. But lovely, absolutely gorgeous aircraft. When you can actually use it, it's better if someone else shows you it, because I leave alternators and generators off when I show it. But we're actually approaching the mainland now. Let's have a little look at the. There she is there. Big wheels, I say, no gears to put up and down. Lovely stuff. I'll tell you what. The interior is lovely, the cabin. I'll take it out of drone mode because it's not the best camera to show you it. Hello from Liverpool Discord server. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much. Hey, guys, thank you so much. And obviously, Richie for sharing it on Discord by the looks of it, mate. I really appreciate it. Today, guys, just for the people who've come in to have a little look, we're flying the new Kodiak. Well, we're trying to fly the new Kodiak 100. Be gentle with me. We're going to fly into the new released Drzewiecki Designs Szczecin Airport. We're not far off now, and then we'll have a good look around it. So if you're not if you're not familiar with the channel, guys, when I live stream airports, I try to do flights like this as much as I can. But mostly if the airports are massive airports, we're going to obviously just stay at the airport and have a look around using the drone camera. And what I do compared to some others is I do have a good look around. I will get into the nooks and crannies of the airport. I'll see just how detailed each developer has gone to recreate the airports. So don't fully expect me to go and be getting close up to walls and checking out how detailed the aircon units, the ground service equipment. that's just how I do it. Is that a massive cloud going across there? It is, isn't it? But yeah, we've got loads coming up. And what I will say, guys, is obviously people from the Liverpool channel, if you haven't already subscribed, please do so. I also run, we haven't got any giveaways sadly for this one, but I do giveaways as regularly as possible. And if you are subscribed to the channel, the Nightbot giveaway system does give subscribers a better chance of winning. I have got some giveaways in the next couple of weeks, starting on Saturday. Could be one sooner, I'm not 100% sure, but starting this Saturday I do have a giveaway to share with you guys in the form of Kemble, Cotswolds Airport, obviously in the UK, and that is from Burn and Blue Designs. That's a new one from Burn and Blue Designs, and it's done to a great standard as always from those guys. It looks amazing, and obviously it does include all of the aircraft on the ground there. All the airliners, the 747s, the A319s, A320s, 787s, all in great detail. Can't wait to show you guys that. I know Burn and Blue Designs are really keen to get that out to you guys, and that is due out in April, obviously. Yeah, all the Scout Simmers are, yeah. Just look how they're, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, can't wait for the new Liverpool. And guys, just to let you know, as soon as I get Liverpool Airport, I should have it for pre-release to show you. As soon as I get it and I can set up the live stream, that is a priority of mine. I was excited for obviously Manchester when Indie Builds released Manchester Airport, but as you can imagine, I am very, very excited for Liverpool Airport. We have had these Digital Designs update the Liverpool Airport recently with a very high standard. It was a great effort, because that is a 6-year-old scenery. So it was very, very good to see Digital Design spending some time to update his older scenery and give us an even more detailed rendition of Liverpool. It goes out saying he is fully aware that Indie Builds were making it. He didn't want to go overboard and spend a lot of time. He wanted to do what was necessary and try and get that update out as soon as possible. By the looks of it, Indie Builds are going to be taking it a step further and giving us a full interior. I don't know how much of that interior is done. All I know is that it seems to be a high detailed one. I would say, if we're going to hazard a guess, I wouldn't even say it's going to be on the same as Leeds Bradford version 2, because that was a long time. Even that was a long time ago now, and obviously scenery creations got more advanced and they've brought in new developers for this one, and it's going to be fab. And guys, I will have a giveaway for that as well. We do need a Mersey flight, guys. Yeah, so I've started doing some community flights recently, and I'd love for everyone else to do some sort of northwestern flights. We'll have a little trip round Liverpool and sort of go out to Manchester, maybe do a touch and go at Barton, come back up and go around to Blackpool and go to Southport, and then along the Welsh coasts, over the hills, and come back around in a big circle. I can set up a flight plan and we can definitely do a live stream, you know, with a community flight. Now, guys, this is looking very, very foggy. I'll be quite honest, I ain't too keen. I'll try my best. Technically, it's probably I technically shouldn't probably be landing in this, but I'm gonna get some power off the RPMs now and I'm going to start descending. I don't know whether my nav is working, we'll see. But we're not far off now, and we're going to take a land. It's taken me a bit longer than usual. We did start at 8 o'clock, so sadly, I've gone a bit over. I apologise. I've got the Heathrow. I've got the Heathrow. Builds Heathrow. Yeah. I'll generally have all of Build stuff. They are very nice to the channel and myself. They always try and pass on as much as they can. I'll be honest, guys. I'm gonna have to change the weather anyway because I can't be showing you the scenery in the fog because that wouldn't make sense at all. So yeah, I have cheated. Say what you like, but I would have had to change it anyway. Sadly, the autopilot ain't working. Sorry, the navigation wasn't set up. I didn't set it properly on the G1000. I'm gonna stick the Tobii eye tracker back on now because I'm gonna need it. I don't know why we're rising as well. Sorry guys, bear with me. I'm pressing my camera on my controller and I've pressed the wrong joystick. It's a bit windy. But yeah, guys, definitely up for like a northwest flight, community flight on online on 2024. If anyone's up to it, that'd be really cool. Have you got the eye tracker thing for your camera? What eye tracker? Tobii. I'm using the Tobii eye tracker 5. We can actually see the airport now as well. Just over to the left of the windscreen. But yeah, Tobii eye tracker I'm using. I haven't used it on past live stream. Well, I have, but I haven't used it in sort of past live streams of lights because I haven't had any way to mount it. I've said it a few times, but if you've got a curved monitor and you decide to get the Tobii eye tracker, try and get the sort of the tripod mount or some kind of alternative off like eBay or Amazon because you won't be able to use the sticky. The sort of the 3M magnet. It comes with like a 3M sticky to put on your monitor and then a magnet. It doesn't work. It's the best way to mount it, but only if you've got a straight monitor. I've actually got it now stuck on an old desktop tripod, and it works well. It's kind of clamped in between the two metal bits, and it seems to work fine. But yeah, we still got more than enough time to actually check out Szczecin. I'm a bit low at the minute as well, so I do apologise for that, but it is what it is. So we're looking at as soon as basically the flaps on the Kodiak work almost like speed brakes in a sense. As soon as you start lowering them, the speed drops, which obviously isn't a surprise, but what I would say is that the Kodiak sometimes gets a bit sensitive, like you've just seen there. Like the reason why it's just done that is because I've just taken my hand off the yoke. And also as well, it's losing power. And unfortunately, when you get to the lower end, the actual landing speed, which is about 70, maybe 60, if you're lucky. If you try and induce more power, or introduce more power rather, it can go tits up for you. Unfortunately, to be very, very nice about it, you can completely flip the aircraft, which, to be honest, is probably what I'm gonna do. That little flutter when I took my hand off the yoke has actually put us onto the glide slope anyway. Not on the actual glide slope itself, but the Toby eye tracker's having a bit of a time at the minute, to be fair, and it's usually all right. Last notch of flaps. You'll see that the speed is dropping now. We're going under 90. If I don't keep the speed up, it'll flip, to be very nice to it. And again, yesterday when I was flying this here right now onto this runway, very same runway, it was an okay landing. I'm not expecting it to be the same, but as long as we keep, I think if we keep it at 80 right now, like the way it is, and if I drop the power enough and time it right, I should be able to do it. You can see the power is down to 85.
500.
What I want to do is I actually want to go to idle when I get as low as I can, really. I don't want to do it any sooner. So I actually want to keep the power up as much as possible. Right over the VOR station as well. Okay, we are decreasing power, so we're on about 80. We should really be going lower, so let's try and... Yeah, 60 now. See, guys, we're on the tail end of it now. I'm not going to put in any reverse thrust today because there's absolutely no point. The runway is big enough. I didn't quite make that exit, and I don't know if there's another exit. That's the problem. So here we are at the Drzewiecki Design's Szczecin. Echo Papa Sierra Charlie. Now, this taxiway isn't in use, I don't think. But I am going to be very, very naughty. And just take it anyway. But as you can see, the military bunkers, the hangars, they look fantastic. Now, I am not sure whether these are in use. There's the lovely control tower with some of the hangars. We'll have a look at those in a second. We'll work our way up. Again, this airport is quite nice to explore because it is all based on one side of the aerodrome. So we're not zigzagging about like in some cases. But like I say, we'll park up There's a general aviation parking just over to the sort of the right of the middle of the windscreen there, but we won't do that. We'll park here. I'm just using the brakes to actually turn at the minute with my pedals. There's enough power in the Kodiak, so you can. It's very nice to taxi. If you put a bit too much power, then it starts to become a bit of a pain. But park right in front of this hangar here. Oh, bit of a bump there. There we go. Hey, it wasn't bad yet. I cheated a bit as well. Oh, you're going back for those wheels? Haha, jokes. It wasn't too bad, to be fair, Rich. That wasn't too bad. The one that I did yesterday was a lot nicer, admittedly. But I would say that because you guys didn't see it. So. Right. Let's shut this thing down. I'm not actually done the shutting down part yet, so. Let's wait for it to stabilize. I'm going to turn the eye tracker off now because we're going to not need it. We're going to be jumping into drone camera and having a little look around this airport, which, as I say, guys, it is a detailed one. Very, very nice. If you are obviously still with me, the flight was a bit longer than I thought, sadly. I thought it was a lot shorter, but it is what it is. There we go. Lovely sounds as well. Lovely sounds for from SimWorks Studios. Lovely prop animation as well. Love to see it. There we go. Yeah. Some of these are still off. My landing lights are still off as well, so didn't land with any landing lights on. So there is a ton of liveries, Finn. I'll try and show them at the end of the live stream, mate, just so we can get on with showing the actual airport. But there's a ton of liveries. There's a lot. There's a lot of variants as well. Yeah, there's a ton of variants. There's as well the Tundra wheels, the cargo pod, the skydiving variant. There's a ton of variations in the cabin as well. There's a lot. Yeah, cheers, Rich, mate. Thank you for coming in, mate. But yeah, there's a lot of variations on the liveries, the cabin, the exterior of the aircraft. It's fantastic. It really is. But if you stick to the end, Finn, I will try. Please remind me to show you the liveries, because we'll have to go back into the aircraft selection, and there is a ton of liveries. There's a lot of them, and they're really nice as well. They're this really nice quality. There's some really nice ones. There's a safari one as well, which has got a really nice tail design. But as I say, the quality of the aircraft is just, it's modeled to perfection. It really is. Right, guys, let's take a look around Szczecin. Echo Papa Sierra Charlie here in Poland. This is the new Drzewiecki Designs airport. Another really highly detailed airport. a little on the small side. And as I discovered with you guys live on the stream as we flew over from, I think it was Rhone, I think that's how you say it, Rhone or Ron. He has actually included Drzewiecki, the newer terminal, not the old terminal. So there is an older terminal to this airport, which I'm assuming either the airport is closed or I don't know how they're doing it, but they're certainly replacing the current terminal where it is on location to a newer terminal. And Drzewiecki has actually modelled the new terminal, which is apparently for 2027, which is fantastic. I love that. Again, animations on 2024, Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024, that is really nice and smooth. I'm yet to see kind of any airport scenery with really, jaggy animations. Runway textures and taxiways are the standard that you always find with Drzewiecki designs. This one in particular is a bit more lighter in colour, and then the taxiways and aprons are a bit more darker. So it's a nice variation, tyre marks, and all the weathering you would expect to see on an airport scenery. Satellite coverage, the sort of the imagery, the textures on the ground, they're okay. I don't expect them to be really, really ultra sharp, but there is some ortho imagery in here with some of the sort of the gravel parts coming off the runway, obviously where the service vehicles coming to these apparatus, these equipments, radar equipment and such on the aerodrome. So all this round here really does need to be the best it can be, because this is what you'll see the most when you're in your aircraft. What you're seeing right now is obviously me with the drone camera, and we are having a look at it in greater detail. So this is not something that you would generally do. Some people do. Some people buy airports and they do exactly the same as me. They have a good look around. They'll have a walk around with the avatar mode, and have a good look of what they've bought. Which always makes sense. I always think with how detailed these airports are getting, sometimes it's hard not to have a look around them. And again, I am going to recall Stuttgart Airport from Aerosoft, which is still kind of it's up there for me in my latest airports, but not taken away from this, because again we are getting a very detailed rendition of the airport. Terminal interiors, hangar interiors, which, by the way, in my opinion, Drzewiecki does the very, very best hangar interiors. I have yet to see any developer consistently bring out a really sceneries with really high detailed hangars, which we don't get enough of, actually. We see these really highly detailed terminal interiors, but hangars, where sometimes we do like to park our aircraft. I know people like to do repositioning flights as their flight. Some people do that. So hangar interiors, especially for GA aircraft, helicopters and such, it makes a huge difference. We've also got, by the way, as we come across here, we've got some of the train track and this animated train, which is super. This is not the first time we've seen an animated train by Drzewiecki. He does them really well. Again, animations are really, really nice. And that will go all the way along to the dedicated train station at Szczecin, which is cool. Those details always welcome, because we don't get any unless you add some of the add-ons in. You don't really get any train scenery in animated trains as you do with X-Plane. I will obviously just mention that because I don't mind mentioning that. Road traffic and train traffic is something that Microsoft Flight Simulator really needs to get on. Because let's face it, if you're going to give us this really detailed scenery, this really detailed world, it is really immersive to have traffic, it should come as standard in my opinion. Even the boats, we've obviously have to pay £15-20 for seafront simulations, global shipping, which is fantastic. I understand that, but in my opinion, you shouldn't really have to buy those things to enjoy those added extras. Anyway, the politics of flight simulation, let's leave that as it is. There's a little bit of a trench going along here. I'm not too sure if that is kind of part of the airport in real life, but hey ho, it don't matter. Full perimeter fencing as standard with Drzewiecki Designs. If you've not seen Drzewiecki Designs airport before, I've done a couple of videos and live streams. If you go back into my video collection a couple of years back, I did a few of them. Washington National is still a fantastic looking airport. I think it is compatible with 2024 as well. Obviously, his Boeing fields, his Renton, his Boeing field, absolutely incredible. He's made the full factories, all sound effects, animations, the factory, the planes going through. It is fantastic. Obviously, but I think Payne Field or Boeing Field has got the 777X going around it, and then Renton has got the 737. I think of the Max going through it, and it's so good. Animations dead clean. You'll see, and it's not just that they're animations, they actually go through the production line. They start in the factory, they go onto the barge, like the truck, and they go into the paint shop and they taxi out. It is wonderful what he's doing with his sceneries, and admittedly, I think it is easy for some of his stuff to go under the radar, no pun intended, or maybe a bit of a pun intended, but I think his sceneries can get sort of missing between obviously the studios with 50 plus people in there working on sceneries and getting them out more regularly. So what I would say, guys, is please make sure that you are having a look at all of the developers, all your options as well when it comes to airports. If you see an airport from a developer that you think, oh, they're a very good developer, try and do some homework first, because what I would say is, there's developers who are doing the same airports, and you might be tempted to have a look at that airport, and there might be 3 versions of it available, and you might look at one and go, they're really good developers, let me get that one, that'll be the best one. Not always the case. And then some of the airports might be outdated as well. A good example of that is Orbex Newcastle. You might see that is outdated. You also, even if it wasn't, RW Profiles do a fantastic Newcastle scenery. But yeah. Drzewiecki's fantastic at doing animated people as well, and putting animations in all of his sceneries, and it's not just the Boeing field and the Renton factory and stuff. It's most of his sceneries. I would say that these guys don't look to be moving, which is quite interesting, because he does usually put animated people in, but it's probably because this is the very, very back end of the airport. All custom cars as well, parallaxed interiors, which is always nice to see. I'm seeing a lot more developers use this technique now of making the lesser buildings appear to have 3D interiors, and they're not 3D, they are just they call it parallaxed. It's supposed to be kind of like a trick of the eye type situation where when you're moving across, it does look like there's a 3D element to it, and if you get it right, it does look fantastic. Sometimes developers get it wrong, as you see. If we can't actually get into that, but there's nothing in there. It is just a sort of trick of the eye. Not so much trick of the eye, it's the way it moves behind this, obviously a 3D wall, but there's no 3D terminal, interior to it. You can't go and look around it like some interiors. Now, the terminal itself, like we discussed before, it's a future terminal. It's 2027 terminal, so I don't even think it's built yet. I'm not too sure. We did have a look at the older terminal on Google Maps before. But I'm just curious to see if the new terminal. It's undergoing major expansion with a new 20,000 square meter eco-friendly passenger terminal planned to be open by 2027/2028. Interesting. I'm not too sure how they are doing it. In fact, Papa Delta Studios did a Szczecin Airport scenery as well. I'm just having a little look at what it says on Google Maps. There's obviously renders of it and plans, which is what Drzewiecki's done. And I may say he's done to a very high standard, because I'm just looking at some of the renders here. And if you do search for the new terminal on Google, it actually brings up his scenery multiple times, which is great. Fantastic, because people who are just searching for the new terminal anyway are going to find this product. And he's done the interior as well, so he's really done his homework on this. The actual cargo terminal also looks possibly new as well. I don't know if this is new. I'm not going to spend too much time on sort of Google while we're trying to do this, but this is down as being new, but I don't know how new it is. Whether it's another thing that he's sort of pre-done. Because like I said before, it's really good if a developer can do that, then fair play to them, because it stops them, or it eliminates the need for them to go back and update it. Because let's face it, if you spend money on a scenery and then within a couple of months, maybe even a year, it's going to be outdated because they put a brand new terminal in there, and then you are going to get your customers who are going to be saying, are you going to be updating your scenery to obviously to show what it's like now? And as a developer, I can only imagine that gets a bit annoying. But again, people, I guess, will hope for an update with any new additions to the airport. Even this has got like all the screen with the official logo on it, all the buttons there, the contactless signs. Fantastic. This is the cargo terminal. Now, there is a cargo sort of, I guess it's an apron, but there isn't much of kind of, as I say, parking space. I'm not too sure how the aircraft park on this. I'm assuming they park lengthways, because as you'll see, there is a taxiway here, and there is a taxiway kind of here. So this, I'm gonna guess, is just purely for cargo operations. Depending on the runway direction the aircraft will come in. I'm not too sure what aircraft are planned or currently come into here as a cargo. Let me have a little look and see, because we might be able to have a little look on Flight Radar 24 is our friend. Can have a little look and see. Now, in terms of actual airlines, you're going to get LOT, you're going to get Ryanair, and you're going to get Wizz. That is pretty much it at the minute, and it's not a particularly very busy airport. Ryanair do actually fly from Liverpool to here as well. But I can't see any cargo flights. They might be on other days, on certain days. But anyway, what I don't know, and I don't know if I can find any information out, is these hangars, these military hangars. I don't know if there's a military presence at Szczecin. I'm not too sure. If anyone's been there in real life, please let me know. Either obviously in the live chat, or if you're rewatching the live stream, do let me know, because I am curious. There doesn't seem to be sort of any dedicated apron for the aircraft. Some of these are open. You can actually see Drzewiecki has opened some of the hangars. There's not any sort of real detail in there. The modelling is great. I think they're one of the most detailed military hangars I've seen in a scenery, to be honest. There's some snowplow equipment in here. Maybe there once was a military presence at this airport and they haven't got rid of the hangars. It certainly looks like they may just use the hangars as a storage, maybe. But anyway, let's carry on. This is kind of, apart from the terminal, which you can just see over there, you can see it's the brand new terminal, yet to be opened, which I still find really, really cool. I love that he's done that. This is kind of the second kind of biggest area that we're going to get in this scenery. No less detailed, really, really cool. We'll actually start with the hangars and then we'll move to the ATC tower in a sort of a weird direction. But this is where I parked the Kodiak up before. There's some kind of, less nondescript buildings here in between the trees. This hangar, again, nicely modelled. Texture work is fantastic as always by Drzewiecki. Can't fault him on the effort. Bits of weathering and grime, and I think we do also have a bit of parallaxed interior again here, just to fake some of this 3D interior. But again, the texture work is really nice. You'll see some of the rust building up in where things have been dripping and rain's caught the building. Don't think there's an interior to this. In fact, there probably isn't because we can't move away. Let's have a little look and see what the night lighting's like for this apron. Lovely stuff. Again, the lighting in just overall since we've upgraded to 2020 is just miles better. The illumination and the bloom and just generally the lights, the source of the lights here, just a lot better. A lot more realistic. Light fixtures are all there as well. Very detailed as well, the light fixtures. There's actual, the metal bracket holding it onto the wall, the hangar itself, all there as well. Just those little details, something that you'll always miss, but the developers have taken the time to do that. I'm not too sure what this aircraft is. I'm assuming that's what the aircraft is, the M119B. They look like crop dusters. Haven't got a Scooby-Doo what they're used for. There's a couple of more modelled down here on the general aviation sort of apron. Maybe one of you guys can go off and tell me what it is. But again, Drzewiecki is very good at static aircraft, including it in the simulator. When you are downloading and installing his scenery, you can configure it to leave out static aircraft, people models, vehicle models. So again, he is also very good at that side of scenery where you can just manipulate sort of what you want to see in the add-on. This is lovely as well, so you guys will hear the we haven't had any yet, but in here there is some of the sound. Some of the sound is recycled from like the Bowen factory sceneries that he's done. But like I said before, when I said he is the best at hangar interiors, I wasn't lying. We got a Learjet here as well, and again the actual Learjet model, I'm not too sure what I've seen this, but again it's very, very detailed. It is a flying hospital one, and it is all in there. It's not the highest quality, but it's all in there. You got this dude here with the mustache with the weird eyes. Yeah, he's having a little mess around with the engines. DeBarcus, you're the only person I've heard pronounce that name correctly. Do you know what, mate? That is a massive compliment because I never pronounce anything right. I don't know which one you mean, though. It's the firefighter plane. Perfect. Perfect. Thank you for letting me know. There's a couple of more. We'll see them along. Again, I just love Drzewiecki's hangars. They're so detailed. You got all the sounds in there, and it's always very active. You know, it doesn't feel just dead. It feels like there's stuff going on in the hangars. If you want to see some really, really amazing hangars, his Katowice scenery, fantastic. His Chopin, his Warsaw scenery. The airport has got some incredible hangar sceneries and detail. Here's another one as well. This is for the helicopter, rescue helicopter. Don't know if this works. I mean, I suppose I could try it and put a helicopter on it. I don't know. It'd be quite interesting to see if it does work. I do love the ground lighting though. In fact, do you know what? The actual texture and the ground lighting on here, the markings are really high definition, really crisp and clear. I meant Drzewiecki, yeah. I don't know how I got it right. It might have been Drzewiecki a long time ago telling me how to say it right because I got it wrong. I've heard a lot of different pronunciation. Drzewiecki, Drzewiecki, Drzewiecki as well. I've always just said Drzewiecki Designs because I thought that was the way you would say it. But yeah, the helicopter pad here. Now, obviously, if you've never seen these, this is generally the helicopter would land on the pad and then, you know, be transported on the rails into the hangar. But it's very high definition. Look how good the actual models are. I'm not too sure about the sound of the weird kind of green kind of glow on the lights, but I think it looks cool. I think it looks very, very nice. Again, some static people. These aren't animated, sadly, but again, it just adds a bit of detail into the overall, you know, hangar and area. So you'll hear some sounds as well. That's how it's said in Polish. Nice. Okay. Well, do you know what? I'm usually really bad at just pronunciation as a whole, DeBarcus. So, yeah, I appreciate it, mate. Yeah, Anna's obviously, yeah, Anna's is American scenery. Is obviously we can't not say the interiors to the hangars of the Boeing factories. I think Newark as well he's done, I'm pretty certain. But yeah, it is factories and the Boeing sceneries. I think Washington National as well. Washington National was one of those, in particular the terminal interior was one of the ones that was just one of those first terminal interiors that I just wowed at. Like, it really blew my mind. The lighting and just everything about that terminal, the modeling of it. Now look at the control tower here as well. It's a big stumpy thing, and again a modern looking control tower, full interior, modeled very nicely as well. Custom car models, some Tesla, some Hondas, some there's a Dodge Charger as well. Again, lovely little addition because we've got some real brand names and real looking cars. A lot better than the default ones that we've got in the, well, the 2020 ones. The 2024 car models are very highly detailed. They've got full interiors in them and they're really nice. But yeah, I just like it anyway when developers add their own car models in. There you go. Up the ladder. Hopefully that's not the way they have to come into here, but there we go. Full interior. night lighting again. The actual lighting for the buildings is spot on. You guys can actually see the airport now in a bit better detail, sort of an overlooking the main apron of the terminal and the hangars here. And again, as always, Drzewiecki, this was the first time I seen, I don't know if it's the first time he did it, but sounds and ambience in an ATC tower was actually the Renton scenery, I remember.
Poland Tower, go 5567. 5567, roger. I'll return here in about a half mile or a mile. Awesome. 5567, turn left heading 130. Left 130.
It just adds in a lot of ambience, and again, it's not somewhere that you're going to be able to go. You're not going to hear them sounds while taxiing past. You're only going to hear it if you go and explore the scenery with the drone camera, and I like that developers are kind of urging people to do that, because I've said it a few times now, there's this certain standard now with airport sceneries that, yeah, once upon a time we weren't really bothered about interiors and everything, but I think it's just a standard now. I think everyone is just, you know, if it hasn't got a terminal interior, then there's always a bit of a kick-off. I know some people may beg to differ and say, no, you know, I'm not bothered about interiors at all, which is fine. But I think from what I'm seeing online, if the scenery developer drops the ball on some of these newer airports, then questions get asked, which I always think is funny. It's the same with aircraft and cabins. You know, once upon a time we weren't bothered that an aircraft has got a really detailed cabin, and now we are. It's just the way it is. DeBarcus, yeah, mate. When I first saw the Renton production line going through and everything just going like as a production line should, it was amazing the amount of detail Drzewiecki put into having that factory feel like it's alive. Really incredible. Again, you know, Renton wasn't made for Avatar walking mode, but I tell you what, if you do that now in 2024, you're going to get such an amazing experience. And if I urge anyone watching this now or rewatching this, if you have not got one of the Boeing factories by Drzewiecki Design, go and get yourself one. Try and get it in, I don't know, I mean, I pay full price for it, but you know, if you can't quite afford it, wait for a sale or something. Try and go and see it if you haven't, especially in 2024 with the walking mode, and just walk around the factory. It's incredible what he's done. It really is. Some of these firefighting planes, again, some people working on them. I think this is a 150, is it 152, 150, with some real world registration. We will check that, of course. Sierra Papa Flake is a 172. It's a 172 based at, it's well, I don't know if it's based here. It certainly does look like it's based here. There's two pictures on jet photos. One of them is in Szczecin. Again, lovely attention to detail, not something that many developers do. I am seeing it more and more recently. Bernard Blue Designs are fantastic for that, of course. And then we've got some animated people here. He seems to add in, obviously, audio for any people sort of standing there, which is fine. Sometimes, obviously, there's a bit of an echo to him and it doesn't quite match up, but it is what it is. It all goes towards this kind of living airport scenery. Now, what I'm going to do is, guys, this is the terminal here. Again, 2027, 2028 terminal, so it's not actually made yet in real life, but he has worked on getting the plans for it and recreating it for the sim, which is, again, I think, do you know what? I only just found that out while we were live streaming. I didn't know that's what he'd done. I had seen the scenery prior to obviously loading in today to get the thumbnail, of course, but I didn't know it was a new scenery that hadn't been built yet. Sorry, a new terminal that hadn't been built yet. But I just want to have a little look at the VOR. Again, we're not really in a built-up area of Poland, but again, custom VOR, nicely modelled and textured, as you may have guessed. And then again, full fence all the way around the scenery, some access gates here, love to see it. And we have got, again, some of the default scenery now in 2024 with some like rocks and, you know, these little bits of water. You've got like the appropriate plants growing around the rivers and the pebbles and the water and stuff. It's really, really nice. We also have the actual road signs. Again, lovely detail, especially with this area being underneath the flight path of the runway as well, which I always think helps if developers always put details in buildings or whatever they can in certain areas. This one being a bit harder because it's mostly rural, but it's good to see the motorway signs in place there for the roadways. So if we follow this road down here, follow the traffic, we will get to the land side of the airport. As I say, not a massive airport, but very detailed. If I'm gonna be a bit of a nitpick here and be, again, I'm not generally overly oh my god, overly, not ovary, what have I got in my mind? Overly critical. I would have liked to have seen this being extended because of how open it is, and plus also how the street lights have been mapped along. I would have thought this roadway would be all the way down, even Drzewiecki sort of standard all the way down here. So I am just going to be a bit nitpicky on this one and say this should go further down, but it is what it is, isn't it? It is what it is. But yeah, I think that should be all the way down. In fact, it does look weird. I don't think he possibly even meant to do that. Like I said, but the street lights are already being mapped in there for a certain distance. Car park, I'd imagine it might be gravel, but I've noticed these cars are partly floating as well. And this is the thing, guys, what I do want to say is, you may watch some of my videos, you may watch some of my live streams and think, wow, this guy just loves any scenery and any bit of detail. I do. And I try and always give developers a benefit of the doubt, but if there's any flickering, there's any issues, there's any floating objects, you guys will see it, and I'm not going to hide it. It don't matter if people send me sceneries, you know, IndyBuild send me stuff, it's on the scenery it's on the stream for you to see. It's not in my interest to sit there and say this is the perfect scenery. Developers welcome it, or at least many do. There might be certain ones that don't really like it, but this helps developers get bugs out the way and fixes their sceneries so that they can see it. I always try and, you know, if I don't spot it, you guys certainly do, but I never will just sort of hide away from something. There's just no point. Anyway, we got that out the way. Yeah, you'll see kind of the elevation issue here is like obviously the gravel sort of dips down a bit, and as we go over to the left, you'll actually see that the cars are back on the ground here as well. I can only assume this is a gravel car park. There's no kind of modelling to it. There's no, you know, tarmac. And again, this might be something that they've done as part of the terminal upgrade. I would certainly hope they would tarmac over this and, you know, make it into a proper car park. It seems yeah, it seems like the right thing to do, I guess. Over to the left here is where the train will end up. See if we can see one coming in. All fully modeled, lovely little sort of train station out in the middle of nowhere at this airport. Lovely to see it. There you go. All of the authentic signage, text and everything on there. And then we've got some animated people on here, some static and some animated people. This guy's just pacing up and down. Again, admittedly, he's walking just below the object as well, which, you know, is a simple fix for Drzewiecki to do. It's also nice that we've got the Joker from Batman here as well. But it's nice that we've got these guys here with suitcases, and it's a bit more detailed. Looks a bit more immersive, you know. Here's the train now. Do we get any night lighting on the train? Let's have a little look. Yes, we do. Again, we don't get any sort of interior to it, but we do get nice night lighting, some sort of faked interior, like interior lighting to it. Animations look great, and then it stops for the passengers to get on and head off to, I imagine, the city, the town itself. Lovely stuff, lovely bit of detail for the scenery as well. You can see it's got the actual destination of the airport on there. Now what I want to do is get the avatar mode as well. I just read my you just read my mind on the road. Let's hope we can fix. Yeah. I mean, again, it's a bit of a nitpick, I guess, but it seems like it was supposed to be there, but it's just not. What I do want to do now, guys, is we'll have a little look around the car park with the drone camera, but ultimately what I want to do is explore the terminal with the avatar mode. Now, before we go into the terminal, we have a little look at the sort of the ground surface equipment, the GSE. All custom with the airport logos and the authentic branding on there as well. You can see some static people heading off into the arrivals hall there. Lovely bits of detail. Again, this is what you get with Drzewiecki. And then only this lot 737 on the ground. The sounds are fantastic. You can sort of hear the ground, the GPU, the cars, the people. You can also sometimes hear the ATC when you get close to the pilots. It's cool. It really is. You can actually see that there's suitcases going in there. And this is it. If you go to his Warsaw scenery, there's a load of static aircraft on the ground, and every one of them has got like a little scene to it. It's not just a static aircraft model on the ground, just waiting there aimlessly. Drzewiecki is one of the best, if not the best, at making these scenes convincing. People getting onto the planes, and again, he gives you that option to delete all this when you're configuring the scenery for yourself. So if you don't want this airplane here, you don't have to have it here. If you don't want the people there, you don't have to have them here. But if you do, he makes sure that there's this immersion to the scenery. People getting on the plane, it's not just sitting there doing nothing. There's steps, there's power units, there's baggage going into them. And I always think it's fantastic the way he sets the scene, and he makes the scenery just a lot more alive. The scenery looks fantastic. You can see there's a full interior. Again, this terminal isn't even here in real life. It's his way of basically keeping his scenery well up to date for, well, many years now, because this is not even here, and he doesn't need to go away in a year's time and update this scenery because it's all there. and it looks fantastic as well. Like I said before, I personally prefer the older style scenery. I'll show you again if I've got it up on my screen here. Let me just see if I've got it on there, just so I can show you on the... Yeah, there it is there. So if we bring that up again. So there's the old scene. There's the old airport. There's the actual the station that we were just at, which is pretty cool. But yeah, the old airport, man. I mean, there it is there. I don't know if you guys can see that, but that's what it looked like outside, and that's what it looks like now on screen. I'll just kind of flick back and forth between them. I'm sorry the picture isn't as big, but yeah, I do like that old white. I don't want to say Art Deco, but certainly not Art Deco, but it's, you know, a really old style airport terminal, and then obviously this modern, eco-friendly box, to be polite. But that doesn't take away the fact that Drzewiecki has mapped all this out and included it. Not new to him. He's obviously done this, the new Sydney scenery, the newer airport. I don't know if that's even open yet. Correct me if I'm wrong, or it might be just, but he did it before it opened. So again, let's talk about how lovely these sceneries are, but also the dedication to keeping everything up to date as well, and also taking the chance on doing the scenery in its newer form. Landside, again, it's not a massive landside. It looks great. It really does. There's lots of changes in materials. We've got like this like metal grid style, and we've got some what looks like marble effect on the wall, some bronze metal, some corrugated metal across the top with the airport logo, and lit up really nicely. Now what I want to do is, guys, for the sort of the end of the stream, we've got 15 minutes left, or at least that's my limit. I am going out tomorrow. I am going on a little bit of a day out. Me and Liam from Perseverance Scenery are going to go somewhere, and we're going to go and do some stuff. That sounds weird. Not in that way. Weird. Don't be silly. Grow up. But it's exciting, and you guys will see what we are going to be doing shortly. I've got to put it all together first. I am going to cheat. I'm going to take the Kodiak and fly it with the slew mode. Whee! And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just unrealistically, I'm going to pop it. I'm going to pop it in the car park. And the reason why I want to do that is obviously I want to... Oh! Yeah, people are getting really weird out now, yeah. The reason why I want to do that is obviously because I want to get into walker mode, and this is the way I want to show you the interior, because it's just a lot nicer to see it in that perspective rather than in drone mode, because I think in drone mode it's just a bit too quick. This might take a bit longer, granted, but it gives you a nice perspective of, you know, being there as a person, the same height, and starts to become less Microsoft Flight Simulator, doesn't it, though? But it's really nice. I'm going to keep it in night mode just because, well, just because I want to see that. I want to see the interior lighting mostly as well. But guys, thank you so much for coming in tonight. Again, this is a bit scheduled a bit less in advance than usual. I have got more live stream this week, and then running into after Easter as well. Community flying still going strong. We've done, I think we're going to be on to our third one on the 8th of April, Wednesday the 8th of April. If you pop by, we're going to do some flying in Montana over Glacier National Park. I can't wait for that. It looks fantastic. All the details will be in the live stream description, which you can have a look at now. It is scheduled and made live this Saturday. Well, I'll tell you a bit later. Do these doors open? No. Can we go in? Yes. That's good. So we've got animated people as usual. We've got ambient sounds, which in my opinion developers don't do enough. You can see how new and modern this airport is. Lots of wood and metal. Can we go into departures from here, or do we have to glitch through? Let's have a little look. I do always appreciate that you can walk straight from landside into departures. It doesn't look like we can, sadly. Or maybe we can. So, I'm going to say there's no collision in this scenery, which I always get a bit disappointed though. I do like that when you can sort of wander up the stairs and make your way through. Obviously, again, I am going to use Stuttgart from Aerosoft as an example of that. There's actually there is some collision on that wall there, but as you can see, the terminal itself is based upstairs, so we might have to go into drone mode, sadly, but let's have a little look and see if the stairs work. And if they do, we can carry on in avatar mode and have a little look. Doors are open, which is great. I don't have a GSX profile. Let's see if the stairs work. Oh, they don't. Now, the issue with this is if, obviously, developers don't make a collision on an upstairs departure lounge, which most airports are found nowadays do, you can't go and explore them. I don't think you can have your avatar sort of stay on the the actual level. What's funny is that there is a collision marker on these walls, so you can't actually go past these walls. Here is where you can go through again. This looks like arrivals hall. Let's have a little look. So yeah, this is the very, very end of the terminal here. This is where the guys were coming off the airport, the aeroplane, the LOT plane. There we go. But again, it's very immersive. Can we get up these stairs? Let's have a little look. Oh, hang on. Oh, guys, look at this. We can manipulate it by zigzagging. Now, you don't have to do the zigzag all the way. You don't have to zigzag on all stairs. Sometimes you can just walk up there freely, but to kind of trick it, you zigzag, I've found, and then if you don't fall off the edge. And what's weird is you can actually just walk down it straight. It works if you walk down it straight, but to get up, you have to kind of zigzag like you're drunk. Now, will the avatar stay on the floor though? That's the thing. Will he stay? No, it drops through, so there's no collision marker or collision on the upstairs, sadly. So we will have to have a little look at the departure lounge with the drone camera, if we can actually go in there. Yep. Have we got some map toilets? Oh, we can't go in the toilets. Oh, we've actually got 2 levels here. We've got one here, which is great. Then we've got an upstairs with like a business lounge. or it looks like it's part of the airport as well. Maybe ground operations, which again, it's fully mapped. It's quite cool that we can see this terminal before it's even here. Lots of detail, you know, the computers and the tannoy system. Passengers again, they're not the most detailed static people you've seen in the scenery. This guy reminds me of Morton Harkett from Ha Ha. I'm showing my age there. I don't know how it does because he's got no discernible features. The animated people, though, these are a lot more detailed. But again, I appreciate the fact that we've got people in the terminal, and you know, it makes the terminal look alive and not empty, which developers are still guilty of nowadays, of having all these massive detailed terminal interiors with absolutely no one inside them. Absolutely fine if you're going to allow the user to turn people off and on when they want. But again, give us that option. I know it's a bit of work for you to do, but the terminal, if you're going to put an interior to a terminal, there's got to be people in there. Full shops as well. Look at this. Fantastic, it really is. It's again, what is more impressive is the fact that this terminal is either in the middle of being constructed or not even there yet, and yet Drzewiecki has mapped this out. There you go, and real departure boards with their authentic flights on them as well. It is fantastic to see how detailed these airport sceneries are getting. And then we've got a Costa Coffee, which it looks spot on. Great stuff, really, really detailed. Love to see it. Some more shops around here as well. Wow. Little kids play area. And then obviously the actual way you get up to departures from the security hall. Oh, you can. I didn't go this way. Ah, silly me. Silly me. So you can actually go around here. He has mapped it all out in terms of, you know, you can visibly see going from landside over to airside. I am, before we end the stream, I am going to have a little look. I am going to take my avatar around to this section just to see if, in fact, we do have a way of getting up. Is this got collision? No. But guys, yeah, as we walk over to the other side where we were before, please do leave a like if you are rewatching the live stream. Again, please do leave a like. I am going live. Next scheduled live stream that is confirmed is this Saturday. We're going to be taking a look at Burning Blue Design's Cotswold Kemble Airport. That is the airport based in the UK. That is right next to RAF Fairford. So in real life, that airport gets some fantastic movements anyway, but it also gets all of the US military movements across the top of it as well. That is Burning Blue Design's latest one. There will be an official trailer for that on the channel as well, nearer to release. And I've got some copies of that to give away. And again, Burning Blue Design's done a fantastic job on it. It looks great. You can see all the old airliners that have been retired there. The general aviation side of the airport, the hangars. It is fantastic airport. Again, Massive thank you to Ben and Blue for that. After that, after Easter, we will be taking a look at... not taking a look, we'll be doing some flying over in Montana with our community flying group, and you guys can get involved in that. Discord is linked into the stream description. And yeah, if you want to get involved in the live stream, you can do. You can come and fly with us. We've already done 3 so far. We're going to do another one, and we're going to keep on doing that. And if you guys have got recommendations on where to fly around the world, let me know in the community flying channel of my Discord server. Again, it's all linked below. If you're not on Discord, you can still fly with us. All the details will be on my social media. Message me, email me as well if you've got suggestions. So the only way you miss out on Discord is getting involved in the voice chat. That's the only thing that I can't do elsewhere. You can come onto these community flights and go into the voice chat on Discord, and you will be live on one of my live streams. I do have more stuff to share with you. I can't say right now. There is gonna be more live streams being scheduled. There might be one before Saturday. I don't know yet, but please just keep an eye out on YouTube for a YouTube post and on my Discord. Let's see if we can walk, or will we drop down? Sadly, we drop down, but we drop down right next to the cake, so it's not all bad, is it? She's very animated. She's trying to tell this guy that there is no cheesecake left. Look how detailed the bottles are, though. Absolutely lovely, Drzewiecki. If you are watching, or you have been watching, or you are going to watch, you've done another fantastic job with this one, and even more so the fact that this terminal isn't actually here in real life. Fantastic. Please put collision on your sceneries though, because I mean, yeah, even if it's just for me, I absolutely love the fact that we can walk around and see the terminals, not just from a drone camera as well. But anyway, guys, thank you so much. Bit longer to get over here with the Kodiak. I still need to do a bit more flying with that, admittedly. You guys have been fantastic. I am gonna go and get a cup of tea, and I'm gonna go and get to bed, because tomorrow I have a bit of a day which I will be sharing with you guys at some point, hopefully within the next 2 to 3 weeks. I still have to put everything together once I've been to this place and show you what I'm doing, but I will have a video to share with you tomorrow before the next live stream. So and it does tie into what I'm doing tomorrow, so got a little bit of a teaser trailer for you tomorrow. It's not a long one, little snippet of what's to come from a certain developer, and I'm actually what you're going to see in the teaser trailer tomorrow is where I would have been tomorrow. So yeah, that sounded weird. What you see in the teaser trailer that comes out tomorrow is where I'll be tomorrow. So yeah, it's confusing, isn't it? I get confused. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna go. Thank you so much for tuning in. Stay tuned, there's more to come. There's some excellent stuff to come, and obviously when the time is right for any builds, wink wink, hurry up any builds, I want Liverpool, we will be on the channel and we'll be showing you, I will be showing you Liverpool in all of its detail, and I really hope that we can do exactly what we've just done there, walk all the way through to landside, into airside, because obviously I used to work there, so I really want to see what it looks like. Anyway, I'll see you soon, guys. Thank you so much.